smells like, I just love the smell of coffee. It makes me happy. Oh hey, my name is Nadia and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This week we're talking all things coffee. I'm a coffee lover, always have been, always will be. I feel like a lot of people started drinking coffee with lots of milk and lots of sugar. I was definitely a big fan of the double for quite some time. For those of you who don't know, that's 2 cream and 2 sugar. It's quite sweet. But over the years, my palate has refined a little bit and now I love a hot cup of coffee with some cream and a spoon. I always drink my coffee with a spoon. Now that we're into the hotter months, I'm definitely a bigger fan of iced coffees. So in this week's video, I'm gonna show you guys how to upgrade your iced coffees at home without any of the fancy equipment. On that note, let's get cooking. We're gonna start with the basics. Ice. If you're still using regular ice cubes in your iced coffee, please stop right now. This is just gonna water down your coffee and ruin the whole experience. We all know how annoying ice can be. Instead, what I like to do is take the leftover drip coffee that we have, let it cool, and then freeze it in an ice cube tray. That way I have little tiny coffee ice cubes in my drink that keep it cool and they don't water it down. Sometimes the simplest things are the most mind-blowing. I also like this option because you don't waste any coffee at the end of the day. It all gets put to good use. If you wanted to spice things up, you could also brew your coffee of choice, whether it be espresso or a cold brew, let it cool down and freeze that. Now, if you wanted to, you could stop right here because I promise you, just by upgrading these simple ice cubes, your coffee game will be taken to the next level. But if you wanted to change things up a little bit more, you could substitute your iced coffee for a cold brew. What's the difference between iced coffee and cold brew, you ask? Well, that's a great question. I feel like Dora, like, do you know what the answer is? Anyway, iced coffee is literally just cold coffee. You brew your coffee, throw it in the fridge, let it cool, serve it over ice, and there you have it. Cold brew, on the other hand, is filtered using cold water. Through the whole process, it never touches heat, which often gives it a stronger taste. According to Starbucks, iced coffee is more refreshing, has a medium body, and has a well-balanced flavor, whereas cold brew has a smoother, full-bodied, naturally sweet taste. With that in mind, you can stick to your iced coffee, or you can go ahead and make your own cold brew at home by combining 3 ounces of ground coffee and 3 cups of water in a big jug and letting it sit in the fridge for about 24 hours. When it's ready to go, use a coffee filter to get all the grinds out, and then I'm actually going to keep mine in the fridge until it's ready to use. So all the grinds kind of stuck to the bottom, which made this process a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I feel bad throwing these coffee grinds out because I know there's lots you can do with them, like they're good for the garden, you can make like face and lip scrubs with them. Maybe I'll make a video about that next. Because it does have a stronger taste to it, people tend to dilute it with some water, but of course, you could just drink it like this. That's a strong cup of coffee. So now we have our coffee ice cubes, our cold brew, but if you still want to spice things up a little bit more, I'm going to show you guys how to make flavored simple syrups. Simple syrups are simple. All you have to do is take equal parts sugar and water and add them to a pot or a saucepan. You're going to bring it to a simmer, and when the sugar has completely dissolved and it's nice and smooth in consistency, you can take it off the heat and leave it like this, or add some vanilla for a vanilla syrup, cocoa powder for a chocolate syrup, or even if you wanted to take things a step further, you could add a few sprigs of lavender and make a lavender latte. I'm going to add some of this syrup to my cold brew and top it up with some cashew milk, and there you have it, a vanilla cold brew with cashew milk. Delicious. That's really refreshing. I like how you can adjust the sweetness to your liking. So if you like it super sweet, add more simple syrup. If you don't want any sweetness at all, don't add any. It's really that simple and it tastes, I'm not gonna lie, I have goosebumps. This tastes really good. But I know what you guys are thinking. This is really simple. Anybody could do this. Is there any other way that we can upgrade our drinks this summer? I don't know. Do you see another way that you could upgrade your drinks this summer? You're right! The drink behind me! I'm gonna play on this whole Dora thing this whole video just so you guys know. This is my version of Starbucks' brown sugar iced shaken espresso. I think that's what it's called. For this, all you have to do is make some espresso and let it cool. And instead of a regular simple syrup, we're gonna make a brown sugar syrup. So again, just add equal parts water and brown sugar and bring to a simmer until the brown sugar is dissolved, and you're gonna let it cool for a little bit. I promise you guys fancy coffee without any fancy equipment. And I know at Starbucks when they make this drink, they use a special martini shaker because it's a shaken espresso something, you know what I mean. So instead of a martini shaker, I'm gonna be using a blender bottle. You could use any sort of water bottle that you have as long as it has a lid, even like a coffee travel mug will do the job. So to make this, all you're gonna do is add regular ice to your water bottle. Add a shot of cooled espresso and add about half a shot, or depending on how sweet you like things, of the brown sugar syrup. Pop your lid on, make sure it's closed properly, and then just shake. I don't know how it's making so much noise. All right, so once it's nice and foamy, open the bottle. And in a clean glass with some fresh ice, these are actually espresso and brown sugar ice cubes that I made the other day. It really just goes to show you that you can do anything with your ice cubes. And you're just gonna pour it in there. Hopefully none of the other ice comes out. Okay, and I'm just gonna top this off with some half and half because I don't have any more cashew milk and I don't really love almond milk all that much. So just throw it in there, and there you have it. That's really good. Wow, I've outdone myself. Again, you can play around with the sweetness with this one. If you want to add less brown sugar, more brown sugar, it's really up to you. But this tastes really good, and I must say it tastes even better with half and half than it does with oat milk. Sorry. Now again, you might be thinking, well, I can just go to Starbucks and get them to make this for me instead of having to go through the hassle of doing it myself at home. What's the big deal? Well, I don't know. Do you see a big deal anywhere? I'll wait. That's right, we made coffee popsicles, everybody. That is the big deal. Starbucks can and will give you lots of ice in your coffee, but will they ever be able to give you coffee popsicles? Again, super simple. All you have to do is shake your espresso, brown sugar, and milk of choice, pour it in some popsicle molds, and let it freeze. So I know what you might be thinking. These popsicle molds, where did you get them? The answer is the dollar store. Oh no, the ice fell in. That's not gonna end well. Now we just have to hope that these don't spill in the freezer. Is this on? Oh my God, this is made well. Dollar store people, I'm telling you. Okay, now let's all cross our fingers that I can get this into the freezer without making a mess. I did it. Cool. And again, when it comes to the popsicles, you really don't have to limit yourself with the flavors. You can have lots of fun and mix and match. For example, this is my attempt at trying to layer cold brew coffee and some cream, which I think turned out pretty cool. It looks kind of fun. I also made a vanilla latte one, but I don't remember what mold it's in. But essentially all you have to do for that one is take the vanilla simple syrup, cooled espresso, and your dairy of choice and freeze it in a popsicle mold. And what's a smaller version of a popsicle? Ice cubes, that's correct. See how we're kind of coming full circle here? We started with the ice cubes, we're getting back to it. Anyway, if you want to switch things up, another thing that you could do is play around with your ice cubes even more. As I mentioned, you could just take coffee and freeze it, or you could spice things up and add simple syrup. This is cream that I froze for my mom because she likes her cream and she likes her cold coffees. So that's for her. Thank you. You're welcome. Well guys, there you have it. Some super fun, simple, and easy ways to spice up your iced coffees this summer. And I guess if you are a tea drinker, you could always freeze your tea into ice cubes and add it into some iced tea, whatever you want. But for all my fellow coffee lovers, I hope you guys have fun recreating these. If you do, let me know down below in the comments. And while you're there, feel free to like and subscribe to this channel. I was gonna make myself coffee this morning, but then I was like, I'm literally gonna be filming a video all about coffee, so is there a point? Now I'm just gonna say it right now, if you go to Starbucks in the next few months and they end up having coffee popsicles, just please know you saw it here first and that they stole this idea from me. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. See, look, I made popsicles. You want it?
It looks good.
I know it looks good, I did a good job. You want one?
Sure.
Okay, well let me finish filming. I'll get you one. It all gets put to good use. More refresh. Oh, why did it scroll that much? My notes are moving on me. But this time, instead of super fun colors, we have the cast of cars as our little sticks. There's Mater, Lightning, and I don't know who this guy is. I think he's like one of the bad guys. So I literally Googled Italian race car from Cars, and this guy is from Cars 2. His name is Francesco Bernoli, and he's the rival of Lightning McQueen. So we got some beef between these guys. It'll make sense later, don't worry. I hope this comes out in one piece. Here we go. Ooh, that's cool. Okay, I forget what I made exactly. Hold on. And if anybody knows me really, really well, they will know that I struggle with not getting coffee on my clothes. I always end up spilling it somehow, hence why I wore a black shirt today instead of a white one. Somehow I'm gonna be carrying this and I'm just gonna spill it all over myself. I have goosebumps right now, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm really scared.